Hey, welcome to the Lunch and Learn. I am Jessica Green. Thanks for joining us today. If you have some teams that you want to jump on and hear this story, go and throw the last minute reminders in your chats. I'm going to talk a little bit about losing your social media overnight after building it for, 13, 14 years, and what I'm doing in the process to fix it, change it, rebuild it. But I feel robbed, right? And I want to tell this story because I want people to understand what can happen overnight. This isn't one of those lessons where we teach you about how to gain PPA or anything like that, but I do have some tools I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to share my screen in a few minutes and just share a couple of things about branding and how I'm rebuilding my brand and taking it a different route this time because of what's happened. But let me just take you back and tell you my story about what happened over the last, I'd say 8-9 months. And it started last December. My account was hacked and shut down. And I had to go and appeal to Facebook to get it back. And so they make you and some of you may have been through this portion of it because a lot of people were like, oh yeah, all I did was sign in my driver's license. I'm like, I've been down that road twice, or I was shut down for 24 hours and everybody's like, where did you go? And you lose business deals over that. I mean, I had people searching for me, trying to figure out where I went or why I was ignoring them or why I blocked them and unfriended them. So after 24 hours, both times last December, I got my account back up and running and reinstated. I have no idea why my account is so sought after that they want to hack it. I don't know. But then come this past July, just a couple of months ago, I woke up to the same message. It always happens overnight. And I woke up to the same message that my account had been blocked for violating community policy. And in order to get it reinstated, I needed to send in my driver's license. I'm like, oh, here we go again. Did all of that. And this time it came back with a message that my account had been permanently disabled. Final decision had been reviewed and I would not get my account back. And I thought, well, I have not seen that message before. That sounds a little rough, final decision. So I am telling you guys, I researched, I asked lawyers, I went through all their policies. They never even told me which policy I broke. There is no one to contact. There is no email address. Once your account is shut off, even if you turn another account back on, which it states in their policies and procedures you're not supposed to do, you can go in and open tickets, but it's on your new account and they will not even listen to you about an old or previous account because they don't believe that that's you. So they're basically what I'm telling you, there's nobody to talk to at Facebook. There's no one that will even take a message, read a message, look at a message. You can try to go through any system that they have. It just reroutes you back in the same circle. At the same time, I had an ad management account, a Facebook ad manager account that was attached to all of my business profiles because I had a couple of different businesses. And one of those businesses, I maybe was the target, I don't know. But what they did was come in and attacked my ad management account and actually took $10,000 out of one of my business bank accounts overnight. All of this all kind of happened at the same time. So $10,000 was swiped, not just on a credit card, directly yanked out of my bank account. And there was no one to talk to about that either because I didn't own my account anymore that was attached to the Facebook ad manager. So there was nobody I could even talk to about it. I fought it with my bank. They were able to help me, thank goodness. But I opened a claim with Facebook 3 times and they closed the case all 3 times. They won't even communicate with me about it at all. So after a couple of weeks of realizing this was probably not going to change, I was probably not going to get my account back. I had a good friend, which may be on here, Jamie Pekka, who reached out to me and was like, hey, this happened to Sarah Fryer over in the UK, another 200K that's over in the UK. Some of you guys may be on her team or know who she is. She also lost her account in the last, 6 months. I don't know how long ago hers was. Same situation happened to her. She has still never gotten it back, to my knowledge at this point. I still have not gotten mine back. So I finally just decided, okay, well, I guess I'm rebuilding. And so in that process, I want to stop for a second and I'm going to show you some of the ways that I'm rebuilding. But I also want to I want you guys to take it extremely serious. I didn't back up photo albums. I didn't back up any of my trainings. Everything we had in our team page, anything I had ever commented on, posted on, created is gone. I cannot get any of that back. A lot of them were on Facebook Lives right into my team page, and all of those trainings on compensation plan and how to recruit and how to build your PPA and all that stuff, gone. If I posted it, it doesn't exist any longer. My only saving grace about some of our like customer page and my team page and things like that is that I always had other admins on there. So anybody that was any page I owned or group I owned that I at least had another admin on, I was able to keep those only because I could have the admin go and add my new profile back to it. So my team page is still intact only because I had admins. My customer page is still intact because we had admins. All of the groups that I own, I could still get back into because I was able to have one of the admins. So that's something I want to tell you right now. If you don't have another person as an admin on some of your very important groups and pages, make sure that you do that today. Because if your Facebook account is taken away from you, those groups and pages will go away along with it if there's not somebody else that it hands off to. The other thing I want to tell you is I don't do trainings anymore live into my team page. I do everything on Zoom. I record it, I upload it to another, we use WeVideo, and then it can be transferred to YouTube, or it can be transferred into your team page. It can be transferred anywhere you want via a link. And you guys have been watching what they're doing here with the Lunch and Learns. Natasha or Susan, I'm not sure who it is loading all of those to YouTube so that you guys can always access those. And if one of their Facebook pages, God forbid, was to ever be taken, this would not go away. They're recorded on Zoom. So I highly recommend doing things in a way that you are not relying on Facebook to house your information. All of my wedding pictures in my albums, I'm sure they're stored somewhere on an old computer that I probably tossed. But I just always thought those would be in the albums titled wedding photos on Facebook. So it's trying to get all of that stuff back. It's almost like having a house fire. I don't want to ever equate it to that because that's something much more god awful to go through, but it's similar, right? When you lose all your photos and the things you've been building for 13 years, my entire son, his childhood, 13 years was documented on Facebook. You guys, I'll never get that back. There's tons of photos and posts to him and memories and videos and things that were all done on Facebook. I'm never getting those back. And it's sad. And I try not to think about it a lot, but my point in telling you all of that is make sure you're protecting your guys' accounts. Make sure I will tell you there's nothing you can do with Facebook. So just make sure you're backing up everything that you have. No, I didn't Amy, thank you. I love you. No, I did not store all of my pictures for the last 13 years there. Maybe for the last like 5 I have all stored, but it's everything prior to that. So like my son's younger childhood, our wedding, all of that stuff is gone. I have to just go back and try to find other places I may have stored those pictures. I just never really thought about it. I just thought Facebook is always going to be there. I never really thought about that going away to the point where they won't even let me have access to my files. Just take it serious. Make sure you're building that up. You guys are building, 6, 7 figure, 8 figure businesses on social media. We have to be super diligent about running it like a business sometimes and having backup sources and data stored other places so that you don't run into what I've run into. It's as simple as things like the company runs a promo and Jessica would just go to her messenger and be like, scroll, 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 scroll. Who were all those people that still I hadn't quite gotten to order as a customer or start as a promoter, or the people who had been watching me for this long. And I just had somebody from high school join me as a promoter a couple of months ago. It was like right before this happened. And we barely kept in contact. It's just that she followed my journey for 5 years on social media while building my business. And she finally reached out and was like, I'm ready. I never even knew she was even looking or watching. Do you know how many more of those people I probably lost in the fire that she just got to me before my Facebook account got shut down? There's so many friends I'll never get back. So now I have to go rebuild. And, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, right? I've lost a lot. I'm sure I'll gain it back. You always have to go, there's a reason for everything. I'm not in control anyways. So I got to hand this over and figure out what are my next steps. So have been slowly but surely trying to figure that out for myself. And it's a journey, right? And I've been watching everybody's trainings on recruiting in groups and really branding yourself a little bit more. And so I'm taking bits and pieces from a lot of other 200K leaders. I'm never going to say anything I'm doing or going to show you is something that I just came up with on my own. It's quite honestly bits and pieces from a lot of other people. So it might be, me repeating some things that you've already heard, but I decided that I wanted to go about this a little bit differently. We all have Facebook accounts that are 10, 15 years old, maybe. And you have all these friends from like high school and old jobs or old companies, or, and some of those people are those negative Nancy's and the people you don't even necessarily want in your feed. So we're trying to weed through those every day, right? Well, mine got weeded out for me. I was at ground zero. So it was about, all right, Jessica, now how do you want to build your social media? What do you want your feed to look like every day? Who is your audience and who do you want to pick to be a part of those 5,000 connections? Who do you want following your journey for the next 5, 10, and 15 years? So I was like, all right, I had just picked up a book a few months prior and hadn't really dug all the way into it, called Building a Story Brand. If you haven't heard of it, you should definitely pick this book up or get it on Audible. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today in building your story brand. I know Em Hastings has talked about it a lot. So I've seen some of her stuff on it too. And I'm going to show you a couple of really cool things and share with you when I share my screen. So we've talked a lot about on different Zooms and Work With Me Zooms about picking the top 5 things that make you you. And I was like, all right, so if I'm going to be rebuilding this 5,000 army of people and I want my Facebook feed filled up with high vibe, high energy, business building, go-getting, moms who want more, whatever it is, right? What are the 5 things about me that I want it to come across super clear who Jessica Green is at this point. I'm a business builder and I'm an entrepreneur. I own multiple businesses. I am a golden doodle mama and I take pictures of them like crazy and share them and share the love of how beautiful they are and what they do on a daily basis. I am a teenage mom. I have a teenager at home and he's like my life, but he's also like making my life crazy right now. So I talk a lot about that. I love to travel. It is like one of my most favorite things to do. However, that's been a little bit weird the last few months. And, what I want you guys to do, if you haven't done that practice yet, is get the top 5 things about you that make you you to build your story brand. And then if you get a chance to pick up that book or grab it on Audible, he takes you through a process. And I'm going to show you a free tool that he has that you can start building out your story brand. So I don't know, did you hand me over screen share capability yet? Yes, I can. I am going to share with you. Can y'all see my screen? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, first of all, I'm going to drop into, I have this up on my screen. It's Facebook terms. It's their new terms of service. I want to go drop this in the chat for you guys because you should just at least make yourself familiar. Where is the chat at? Oh, there it is. You should just make yourself familiar with what those are. So that's the new policy they just put out the other day. I wanted to throw that in there for you guys so you could read through that. There was some speak about a bunch of different things and people are interpreting this different ways. Best thing is just protect yourself and have all your stuff backed up. Okay, a little bit more about your story brand. If you go to the website mystorybrand.com, there is this really cool thing. You can sign up for just a free account, and this whole book is just an incredible book to read the whole thing. There's so many good points that he makes about building your story brand and then selling or solving problems based off your story brand. So this is just a really cool free tool that he provides, and you can store your brand scripts right in this thing. It is the coolest exercise to walk through, but you really have to put some time, energy, and effort into the thought process behind doing this. And I will tell you that when you hover over these different sections, and you click on them, he gives a little bit of description of what's supposed to go in there, but I firmly believe Natasha and I have walked through this exercise together, just building one out. And I firmly believe you need to have the book, because he's got little videos here you can play, but they're short snippets. And I don't think you'll get the whole meat and potatoes about what's behind each one of these sections. And I do believe that if you go through and you put the time and energy into these sections, it will make you, when you make your posts on social media, we talk about, the pull versus push, people into buying your product or joining your business. We want to go and solve problems for people. And putting the StoryBrand script together really helps you get your head wrapped around doing just that, but also doing it with your touch on it, because people buy you before they buy your product. And so this is going to help you really get a clear focus. And so now every time I go to make a post or share on social media, I always have this in the back of my head, but not only just in the back of my head. If I need to refer back to it and read through it to make sure I'm hitting on the right points for the audience I'm trying to speak to, I have this. It saves in your account. You can make as many StoryBrand scripts as you want. So I started one on I got involved in Le-Vel and in my business for the business. I was at a point in my life where I needed to do something different. I wasn't looking for a product. I was already on really good nutrition. I'm a chiropractor's daughter. We stay healthy. We take vitamins. I wasn't really looking for that. I was looking for a business. So I know I like to run business. My degree is in business. I want to attract people because they want to join a business. But then once I got involved in Le-Vel, I fell in love with the products. The products I had so many issues I didn't realize I even had until I started putting good nutrition in my body. So I also have a product story, and I want to help solve people's problems that I know I dealt with, that I can help them with. So I'm building a StoryBrand script for my actual business and how I want to attract people to my business. But I'm also going to build out a StoryBrand script for each product that has been life-changing for me. So I'll probably start with the first 3 steps, and those capsules for me are life. They are my jumper cables. I need those to continue my life. Like, I really, really need those. And I know that I have things and characteristics about myself that if I can share those with other people in the right way, without being like, buy my product, buy these capsules, buy this stuff. If I can do it in the right way, I'm going to attract those people to me. I think we all saw a mastermind training that Courtney Glaser was on. And she's been asked this question multiple times about how does she reach out and send messages to people? And she's like, I don't. I was like, wait a second. You don't send messages to people? How do you recruit then? This is how. It's about making your brand so intriguing and solving problems within your social media posting without trying to directly sell or directly message people. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do any of that. I'm just saying we can do both. And as I need to rebuild my social media account and my feed and my page and my friends list, I decided I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to do it and build it based on a StoryBrand. And I want people to follow me because they know that I can help solve their problems without cramming something down their throat. And this book is life-changing. I mean, you can see I have all my sticky notes in here because those are all the important sections that go along with filling out your StoryBrand. So another product for me that's been huge is Rest. So I am going to build a StoryBrand based on how rest has affected my life and how I can help others with it. I just had a brand new thing happen to me with our Thrive skincare line, and I'm going to start doing a StoryBrand script based on that peel. It changed my chapped lip problem I've had for my entire life, and I had no idea it would do that. I'm going to build a StoryBrand script on that. I just saw Natasha take her hair, skin, and the peptide gel, the hair, skin, and nails. I'm literally building a StoryBrand script because I'm going to grow my hair out for the first time in 3 years. So I'm going to build an entire StoryBrand script on that product too. And what's really cool about this is it's all going to be stored in here for me. And he has a totally different way for you to think about your customers. We're always wanting to be our customer's hero and solve their problems. And if you read the book, he tells you how to go about this and make your customer the hero. You're just the guide. You're just the guide to help them solve their own problems. And when you can make your customer the hero and they solve their own problem in the process, they will always be your customer, because you have now made them feel very important in their own story and capable of solving their own problems as the hero of their own story. So I cannot tell you enough how this book is changing how I'm building my social media at this point, and I highly recommend it. And one other thing I wanted to share with you guys, I just told you I own multiple businesses. Lavelle is my mainstay, and the others are my, like, some of my side stuff, because I'm just an entrepreneur. I can't help myself. So I'm extremely busy. I'm a mom of a 13-year-old. I'm running my Lavelle organization and working on my other businesses, and those are my hobbies too. And in order to stay organized, I have to, and while rebuilding an entire social media account, I have to stay super organized. If you do not know what Trello is and you're a busy person, I highly recommend that. It's free. You do not have to pay for it. I have yet to pay for a Trello account, and I have like 5 businesses operating off of it, or not 5 businesses, but like 5 categories operating off of it, a couple of businesses. I even have my son's homeschool stuff operating off of it, and my son has to fill out his Trello board, so I know he's done with his homework. But I want to show you how I've been building out my new social media on a Trello board. And I copied this so I can give you guys the link in the comments here, so you guys can take this. I mean, you can rearrange it to whatever you want. I just thought it might get you started. But if things like this overwhelm you, don't overwhelm yourself. It's just a tool that can be used. And as Natasha loves to say, YouTube University is amazing. And you can learn how to do Trello in just an afternoon, and you really can't screw it up. You can get in there and move all kinds of things around. But I have the template here, as you can see. I just threw some stuff in there, and you can do with it what you want. Once you have the link, you get your own free Trello account. You can do with this what you want. But I'll show you mine, just because there's an example in here. So I have, one of my things is just a content calendar ideas, and I pull a lot of stuff from Pinterest. Pinterest is like life, right? When you want a quote or you want something cool, you go to Pinterest. So I put a bunch of pictures in here with different like content calendar ideas and things like that. I found a quote website that I get a lot of quotes from that are really fun for me. And then I have my days set out here, and this is like this past Monday, it already happened. So I moved my card from Monday down, and I left this Tuesday and Wednesday up so you could see me actually do it while we were on here. So Tuesday's already done. These are the posts that I made, and I can always go back and put notes in all of this, how they went. I literally have even typed out my posts in here before I make them on social media, because I just copy and paste. And then I always have this stuff stored, you guys. So if I ever lose my account again, I can go back and see what worked and reuse some of this stuff. And so when I'm done with a day, like Wednesday was yesterday, so I'm done with these posts. These were all made yesterday. If you're with me on social media, you'll know you saw those. And I can then go move my Wednesday down to the end of the list. And I'm on Thursday. Oops, it didn't move. And I can go back, and I'm working on Thursday right now. And so like one thing that I have, because I'm super busy, is I get like, okay, I'll be like on my morning run or something, or I'll be listening to a YouTube video, and I'm like, whoa, man, that was a really good quote, or that was a really good idea. I could make a post totally off of that. And then I go to my notes on my phone, or I see somebody else's post on social media and it was really great, and I go to the notes on my phone, and then I forget about the notes in my phone and I never do anything with them. So this is what this Trello board is really helping me organize now, is when I come up with something cool, or I have a really new cool picture in my phone, or we just went on a trip last week, so I've got pictures from that. I'm editing them and I'm throwing them in a board. Even if I don't have the whole post put together yet, it's there. I know I'm going to post it on Saturday, and I've got to now, like for this Saturday, I'm going to go and post this picture. It's a picture that we just took when we were in Panama City Beach doing a little team leadership stuff. And I want to make a post about surrounding yourself with people who are going in the same direction as you, right? So I haven't made the post yet, but the picture's in there. So I'm not going to forget that I'm making that post on Saturday. And as those things come up, I can put them in here. If I come across a really cool quote, like there was one I put in here a couple of days ago. I had the quote, but I didn't have a picture. So, it was this. I was listening to this on a run.
Hair looks terrible. Is my hair completely
Is it happening again?
Help me. I am a today. Yes, your hair does look
It
Yeah.
just looks like you're logged in twice, Jessica. There we go.
I don't know how that happened. Okay, so unless somebody's inside my account and logged in, which could be, we use the Zoom account for a lot of things, so it could be. All right, where we're at 12:56. I got just a couple minutes left, right? I had this quote come across on a YouTube video I was watching of Tony Robbins the other day. You can't have a standard education and have an extraordinary life. Loved it. I went and threw it in my Trello board, but I had nothing else to put with it. So I was like, all right. When I had a couple of down minutes, I scrolled through all the pictures on my phone and was like, oh, what would match that quote? What would match that quote? Found the picture. This is from months ago of me standing in front of my bookcase in my office. And it's me pointing to all my books. And I was like, oh, I could use that. So I edited the picture really quick, threw it in the Trello board. It's for Thursday. I did that days ago though. So now when it comes to Thursday, I'm not going, oh my God, what do I post on social media? Let me take a picture of my rocks over here and maybe make a quote about it, because I haven't planned anything, right? And you're doing this like last minute stuff on social media. I'm super busy, so I cannot do that anymore, or my social media will end up like it was when I had my old account and nothing was really purpose driven. Nothing was really story brand driven. And now, because I'm planning ahead and I'm planning this out ahead of time, I can make sure that my posts hit my 5 things. My posts are hitting my story brand script, and they are making sense for me building a business on social media. So I'm going to really quick, before the time is up, grab the link for this template, and I'm going to share it in the chat so that you guys can take my template, or just go create totally, you know, Trello, or you want to just do it on your own, just go create your own. And you can start from scratch, but this will at least give you, I wanted to at least share something with you that you could take away and use. There's the chat. There's the link. Just when you go in and create the board, you're going to want to rename it to whatever is for you. You know, your social media board, because I think you have to just kind of like save it as your own and rename it. So you'll see once you get in there. And if you need some help on, I'm going to stop sharing now. If you want to learn a little bit more about Trello, just go to YouTube University, because there's tons and tons of videos on that. And that's all I have for today. I don't know if I'm passing it back over to somebody or.
I got you. Can you see me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
We did it with no chaos.
I was like,
you know, she had to be watching that the whole time. Okay. So I was looking back up. It says that board is private. So guys, you can probably just YouTube it, figure out how to make one. I would assume that was probably her board. Okay. Tell the name of the book again.
Oh, Building a Story Brand Script. And I will try to go in there and unlock that so it's not a private board. Okay. That shouldn't be too hard. Yep. Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller.
Okay, cool.
And then mystorybrand.com is the website that you can build that on. I hope that was really helpful.
It really was. And just a major reality of waking up and everything being gone.
Not fun.
I've never thought about backing up Facebook. How in the world do you do? I mean, like, I didn't know you were sending us all the policy and procedure stuff. And I was like, I've never thought about doing that. Well, I back up my computer, but I haven't backed up my social media.
I never even thought that I really never thought I needed to, right? I didn't really ever think that Facebook would just take my account away, and not even just take it away, not even give you access to at least download all of your stuff. Like they won't even give me access to my own albums or anything.
That's crazy. Well, we super appreciate you being on here and taking the time to share with us. I know that probably wasn't a very easy time in your life, and it sounds like, but rebuilding can also be a little bit of fun. It's all new people, right?
It is. I'm learning new stuff. I'm making myself learn new stuff. I have to.
Just so y'all know, that's not how perfect her office is behind her. I had to learn that.
That's another tool I need to share with you.
I love that. I love that. Okay. I'm going to